Hi guys, so I am filming my intro now. This was a video about how to get rid of under eye circles and bake them in a way where the makeup will stay, but it won't crease and look crazy, because I don't know about you guys, but when I follow baking tutorials, I often have like crazy white under eyes and it gets like super creasy and super wrinkly. So I did that. I think I did a pretty good job because I filmed that video at 3 in the afternoon and it is now 1:16 a.m. And my face looks pretty good. There's a little tiny bit of breakup. I mean, this isn't my under eye, but I pretty much baked my whole face. So a little bit right here, a little bit on the nose. My under eye, look, I mean, my eyeliner is a little runny, but it's been like 9 hours, so that's perfectly fair. My wing looks crazy today, I apologize for that. But yeah, it's not super set into the wrinkles. You can't see my dark circles showing through, which I definitely have right now. My skin still looks pretty even, pretty luminous. So I would say all in all it was a success. It was my first video, so please be gentle with me. I mean, there's probably like 7 of you watching this, if that, but all 7 of you, please be gentle with me. I'm very awkward. When I was filming it and I would put the thing up to the camera, the product, it looked like the words would show up backwards on the screen, so I keep apologizing for the backwards words. And then when I played it back, I was like, oh, they're not backwards. So I just look a little bit insane because I keep apologizing for it's backwards. I call concealer primer in there. I also noticed there are a lot of points in the video where I look a little bit gray. I googled RMCA no color powder, and the first ingredient is talc. So what you're seeing there is a flashback, which I have been using that powder for a while, and as you can see, like in soft lighting, totally fine, no flashback, normal skin tone, look like a normal human being. If you're gonna be in a situation with bright lights or lots of pictures, because there was bright light coming from my mirror. It has like the LED light around it, and I think that's what was causing it in the video. But if you're getting pictures taken, whatever, bright lights, I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend getting something talc-free, but if you're not, perfectly fine. I've never noticed a problem out in public with it. It looks fine now. Just don't be around bright lights. So just a little disclaimer, I look a little gray in this video, but not in real life. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope this method works for you if you've had trouble with baking and setting your under eyes and it getting super creasy. And that's all. Alright, here it goes. Hi everybody. So today what I'm going to be showing you is how to deal with dark circles. This is my first YouTube video, and this is a lot more awkward than I thought it would be. I was like, what's the big deal? You just talk to a camera, but I feel really weird. I feel like I'm talking to myself, and I feel like my neighbor's gonna overhear me or something, but anyways, that's my camera. Oh. Alright, the cat pressed a button and it exited out of the camera, but I have since found it. This is the first time I've actually used the webcam feature on my laptop, so that's exciting. Learning new stuff. I have a mirror down here, and I have all my makeup stuff. I'm on my bed because where I normally do my makeup is actually really dark, and then I just have bright light coming out of the mirror, and then I have to like switch to a different mirror that has different light. I don't know. So this is what I'm doing. It's kind of ghetto, but I think kind of an ingenuitive setup. So what I'm going to be talking about is how I cover my dark circles. You can't really tell because this lighting makes me look so dewy and glowing. My forehead's actually really shiny because I just put on like all my morning stuff and like sunscreen. But I do get really bad dark circles. I have scarring also. I don't know if you can see like along there. I have a definite picking problem. This is from, I don't even remember what that's from. I like to pick at my face and it leaves scarring. We all know that's bad, so don't I don't recommend that you pick up that habit if you don't have it already. But I'm sure a lot of people do, and I feel like I see YouTubers a lot who do these makeup tutorials and they like already look perfect kind of, and like they have a filter on their face, then they put on makeup and it's like, oh, so you just look more perfect. And then my face, I just look like Deadpool when I try to do what they do. So I'm trying to make a relatable one for people with troubling skin. I have combination skin. It's weird. It's not like I have oil like in a certain spot. It's just like some days it'll be oily and some days it'll be super dry. I definitely struggle with baking. Baking really dries out my skin. But today I'm going to show you how to do some baking and not look like the Crypt Keeper. Because when I do it, I just have like these like white crazy and they're like creased. So, but I think I have found a method that works for me. So hopefully it'll work for you too. Alright, and let's just jump right in. So start with priming the face. Actually start with washing the face in the morning. And make sure moisture is going to be your best friend. And always use sunscreen because it's just hard to get rid of your dark circles if you have skin cancer. So do that. So after moisture, I recently tried the Belief Water Balm for the first time, and my skin has felt like amazing. Like I just will keep like touching it throughout the day. I'm like, oh my god, and it just feels like this like velvety, soft, not a blanket. You don't want your skin to feel like a blanket. It feels good. You guys should get it. I'm gonna get it. I got it as a sample from Nordstrom and I'm just like pretty impressed. So I have that on. I recently got these from the, okay, that's terrible. You can't, that's like backwards. They're the Farsali unicorn drops. Sephora was having their VIB sale this weekend. These are the sample size because I was at, I don't know if you've ever been at this point in Sephora where you are at the end and you're like, I'm about to spend a ton of money, and then you're like frantically looking through the sample size section to see if you can swap anything out, and I did. I also got a sample size setting spray because I panicked. So this, you just kind of drop it on the face. It's kind of a different medium for primer, but you can just rub it in there. It smells really good, as I'm sure you guys have heard if you watch a lot of makeup tutorials. I also just feel like a very dignified woman. I don't know, it's a little dewy drops on my face. Makes me feel fancy. So you just kind of pat that in, and it's a really good primer. It's like, I didn't expect it to be good. I thought maybe it was kind of gimmicky because on the whole unicorn thing, if you put unicorn on anything, everyone will buy it right now, it seems. But I mean, it's tacky, it's smooth. I worked an overnight last night, which I do from time to time, which is part of the reason why I always have dark circles, because I'm tired. So yeah, and by the end of the night, where's my sponge? By the end of the night, my makeup was still like good. After being awake for like 20 hours, I was like, all right, unicorn drops. So taking my really dirty, I believe it's Define and Contour sponge by Morphe. These are like $5. Any beauty sponge will probably work. I don't really use this edge too much, to be honest, but actually no, I do. I use that to pat it into my face. You should get this one. This one's good. And then I'll be going in with the, I don't know why I'm doing this because it's backwards everything, but this is the Dior Forever Foundation in shade 025. So I'll just put a couple squirts on there. Yeah, Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist. This helps like my whole face to not get dried out. It helps my foundation to keep looking good because I don't know, my face is weird, like especially between my eyebrows. I don't know if anyone else has this, but like it just gets so cakey, and I tried so many different foundations to like, this is just too bright right now. I tried so many different foundations to like not get that. Like, it wasn't even like it was oily, but it would just like, the foundation would just like shed from this area of my face. And I also get redness there. I tried to narrow my eyebrows once right there, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but probably. So my skin is just never grown back, it seems. So yeah, I'm just patting. You can use whatever foundation you want. Honestly, I found that if I spray the Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist on the sponge, pretty much every foundation works for me, or I'll mix it in with some oil. Or you could do MAC Fix Plus. I've even used like the Kiehl's Cactus moisturizing spray. It just incorporates some moisture in with your foundation, and it doesn't matter, like, even like thick ass foundations, like, I don't know, the Kat Von D looked really weird on my face. But I started mixing in oils or moisturizing spray with it, and now it looks great. So it doesn't matter what foundation you use, but I would, if you want dewy hydrated skin, which I believe most people do, and you don't already have oily skin, I would recommend mixing something in. So I think that's, I don't normally do my face in this lighting, so I'm not really sure. I feel a little lost. Yep, that's my face, and it has foundation on it. So then I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Shape Tape, which I feel like is what everyone uses on YouTube. I'm sorry I don't have like an exciting new primer for you guys, but this is good. I used to go like and make like giant, like the whole triangle, and that I really had trouble with, like caking and creasing and all of that. So what I've found is that it's a lot easier to just do little dots, and then the blending is going to be important also. I'll use this for starters. I'll use the Morphe Define and Contour Sponge, spray the Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist on it, because especially under the eyes, you're going to want a lot of moisture, because for me, those just dry up. Bring some around here onto the lid. It's really weird doing my makeup in a webcam. I don't normally use a webcam as a mirror. I don't know if this is how other people are doing it. I have a mirror down here, but that would look, you just be looking at my bun the whole time. So I'm just gonna pat it in, pat it all in. If I remember to, which I usually don't, I'll try to just do one eye at a time, and I'll just keep patting it in until like it's like totally in and like almost dry, and then I'll move to the next one and do that, and I won't even start on the rest of my face till my eyes are done, because it's just that much of a struggle. So then I use the Morphe, I'm sorry my brushes are so dirty and that all my writing is backwards, the Morphe M439 brush, because I find that when I just pat it in with the Beauty Blender, it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't blend enough. I just like, and then it cakes. So I use this also. I think this shade might be too dark for me, because I'm not seeing a ton of brightening. Yeah, see, my eyes, it's a struggle. Okay. So then what I'll do is I will bake the under eye, because otherwise it's just gonna come off, and that's just the truth for me. I like the RMCA baking powder. It's not called baking powder, it's called no color powder. I don't find it to be super drying. Try to get something that's talc free. I don't actually think this is talc free, but I know, like, I think Laura Mercier, I know Cover FX is, and theirs is amazing. I have some on the way, actually. It's in the mail. But theirs is so good. It leaves like no flashback, no nothing. But this one's good too, and this one's really cheap. It's only like $8 can. This is something that's not right. A bottle. So I'm just gonna. The only thing is it doesn't have like one of these, so I have to use one from another makeup, which is kind of, but it's $8, so I'm just gonna do that, and then I will set that, and I will actually just go ahead and set my whole face. So I just look ghastly right now, so that means I'm doing a good job. Yeah, it's not gonna look cute until you wipe it all off and put, I personally will put on top of it, this might be too much for some people, not for me, I will put the Bare Minerals, this is called Original Foundation, and I will mix it with the Lancome Absolue powder in Golden, because it just kind of, when I set my face with this, it is a little startling. It gets a little more pale, and so I'll just do that to add some natural color. And the Absolute powder really adds like a sheen back into the face also, so it also helps with drying. That's not enough. So yeah, now we're gonna go in and bake the under eye. A lot of people like to bake with a sponge. That is another thing that I have found causes, for me, a lot of creasing and drying. So I kind of go in a little lightly, but also kind of crazy heavy with this. We're looking really good. I always think of like Black Swan when I do this, because that's what she did in the movie. And then I'll also, and you don't have to, this might be too drying for you, I'll do up here because of the Nair situation that we discussed, and it just, I might have went too far onto my forehead. I'll do my nose because I get a lot of breakup on my nose, my chin. You can do your whole face if you want. I mean, it's a free country, so yeah, I'm just gonna let that sit there, and then I will go in on my brows, I guess. I don't know. Normally I just wait a while. Maybe I'll just wait a while and just edit this out later. So you only need to let it sit for like 3 minutes. Some people let it sit longer. I find the longer it sits on my face, the harder. I mean, it has to sit on your face for at least 3 minutes because that's baking. It's your heat of your face is baking the makeup into it, which sounds really bad for your skin. Sorry, there's like powder falling in my eyes right now. So you need to wait a little for that to happen, but I find that the longer I wait, the harder it is to get that whiteness off my face. So I don't wait a super long time, but long enough that this isn't going anywhere. So I don't know. That wasn't 3 minutes, but you guys will forgive me. Yep. And I find that don't just use a regular like fluffy powder brush. This is actually a bronzer brush that I use. It's easier if it has, sorry, I burped. It has shorter, denser, denser bristles. Sorry, my phone was going off. I got distracted. Because then it's easier to just get all of it out of there. Not leave behind any residue. I find that it's easier to get it off the rest of the face. Just the under eye is just, it's a very sensitive and mysterious area. Well, it's still way too much under there. But, I mean, it's definitely brightening. Yep. I will even sometimes go in with this buffer brush, which is for foundation, but it's a buffer brush. It's kind of like a flat kabuki, and it works really good for just getting in there. This is the Morphe 439. This is the same one I used to blend the concealer in. Yeah, a little. Yep. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Actually, that looks pretty good. Not a ton of creasing. A little bit. I just have wrinkly ass eyes. I don't know what can you do? It's my face. So then I will go in with, and I'm using, this is the highlight and contour brush from Tarte. I think I use this brush for way more than it's meant to be used for, but I like it for different stuff. I like it for powder foundation, loose powder, getting off my loose powder, pretty much just anything that involves powder. I use this brush, and then it has the little highlight end. You can use that for blush too. So right now I'm going in with, I'm mixing the Absolue powder from Lancome, and then this doesn't say anything on it, but it's the Bare Minerals foundation, and I mix the two together because just the Lancome Absolute powder by itself, although I love it, is gonna make you look like the Tin Man. So don't. So I mix it with this foundation, and if I just use the foundation, I find it to be a little drying. So I like to mix the two together, just kind of go over the whole face, get back to like a normal color. Ooh, and bristle went directly in my eye. It's really hard to tell on this webcam if I'm looking normal or not. Oh yeah, oh, that looks good. Now it's kind of, see, oh, I'm sorry, my apartment is so messy behind me. Yep, it doesn't look crazy creasy dry. It doesn't look crazy white. It just looks like a beautiful face. Actually, I look kind of crazy right now because I don't have any brows or eye makeup. But that is a different story. I'm not going to do my brows on camera because it's boring. Okay, so I am back. What did I do? She looks different. What'd she do? I filled in my brows with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. It is normally spelled normal ways, not in reverse like it looks on the thing. Anastasia Brow Gel. I also, when I do my brows, I go in with, I don't know what this is. Flower? It says Flower. I guess the brand is Flower. I swear to God this was like a Maybelline or something. But it doesn't say. This is in Brunette. This is a little bit darker than, here, I'll show you guys. Actually, kind of a lot darker. This is actually super pigmented, whatever it is, or wherever it came from. Oh, okay, well that's not making a good case for it right now. Yeah, it's also a lot thicker. So this is, I use the Precisely My Brow for like the front, and I'm sorry, I kind of did a bad job on them, just hurrying. So I use it for like the front to fill in, and then for the darker areas I will go in with the darker pencil, the Brunette. I mean, some people say to just press harder. I don't know, for some reason that doesn't work for me. I'm just that extra. I need 2 whole different pencils. So I did that. I used the Modern Renaissance palette, which has ink stains on it. I don't know why. I use this, the burnt orange. Obviously I use it a lot. There's almost none left. as a transition shade, and that's all I put in my eyes. Today, MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot to carve out the brow right there with this is the brush I use for my concealer. I'll usually prime my whole lid, but I just forgot because this whole thing is kind of weird. Morphe 421. And then, a little crazy, and I used for liner, the Macroviolet liner by MAC. Wow, that wing looks awful. I need to fix that. But it is slightly purple. You can see all the texture on my face. And this is a very high resolution webcam. But yeah, so did that. Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced. It's my favorite. And then it just pops on a little Prosecco pop, little Prosecco poppy, on the nose and on the cheeks for my highlighter. Sprayed with Tatcha, and that's it. That's the look. That's how you cover your under eye circles. I didn't really go into depth about the rest of the face, but I will make more videos. So thank you. Namaste. Tuning in. That's it. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye, guys.